And absolutely, we hear loud and clear I think everybody wants to see that legislation, and we're working intensively to deliver that. But it is also important to point out, and as I had set out in the opening statement, that in parallel with the development of the legislation, there's considerable enabling work going on to deliver MPAs through the MPA Life process and the MPA Life project. So it's not as if nothing is happening. I think that's a really important point. The legislation is one tool, but there's a lot of work being led by Dr. Oliver Kiley, my colleague, in respect of that MPA Life project. So if I can reference those two briefly, specifically, two ecological sensitivity analyses have been undertaken by the department and an MPA advisory group with the purpose of identifying suitable areas for MPAs, as well as developing the methods, approaches and standards for identifying such suitable areas. And importantly, a third such analysis of the Atlantic waters to the west and north is now in the process of being established. So these three analyses together, with the support of the MPA advisory group and the LIFE project and the department, will complete an initial examination of possible suitable areas within which possible MPAs may be identifiable and brought forward. But the bringing forward of those possible areas will be done through the legislative and the participatory process that we've heard an awful lot about today, which is really important. So if you can imagine, there's a huge amount of scientific and enabling work being carried out in parallel. The legislation is being worked through, and when those two come together at the end, we're not starting from scratch. The process is well advanced, but really importantly, as we commence that process, we need to ensure that everybody and all of the key stakeholders are on board and actually can work with us in respect of that journey. So that's why that participatory approach through the DMAP process is really pivotal in that. So I think that's a really important kind of context for everybody to kind of be aware of, that the legislation is one arm of it. The work that's going on in parallel with that is really important, and bringing those two together through the participatory processes is really important from the department's perspective, to ensure that these things can work and work well. Thank you.